When people say that Trump is pro crypto, that means he's also pro business. And so what you're going to see is the banks, start accepting crypto. You see Visa and MasterCard, even life insurance. There's life insurance policies that are starting to be developed, for, the same way that we can become our own bank with whole life insurance. You're starting to see policies that people can put in Bitcoin and borrow against it of a death benefit.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to and watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Well, got a special guest on with us today. You're definitely going to want to hear from him if you are into crypto trading, if you're looking to invest in crypto and figure this whole thing out. He's the guy to go to, Jamar James. And Jamar, your website is dcgelite.io. And Jamar, so let's just talk about overall crypto. Where is it at now? Where do you think it's heading?
Man, it is in a great space, and thank you for having me. But the overall crypto market is in a space of expansion. We waited for this year. We consider it mass adoption. We've been talking about mass adoption for the last 5 years, but having an incoming president that supports it and a government that is getting behind it and talking about a Bitcoin strategic reserve, I think we're in a space of expansion, and there's still a huge opportunity with the onboarding, as you see Wall Street has entered the building.
Yeah. Oh, that it has. And Wall Street, Wall Street fought this tooth and nail because Wall Street's just a middleman when you get down to it. And the big banks, make tens of billions of dollars a year being intermediaries, whether it's swapping currencies, right, trading currency, whether it's, whatever it is, anything they do, credit card processing, all of that. They have invested vast sums, and they saw cryptos initially, I guess, as a threat, right? But now they're all in.
Well, they saw it. They saw it as disruptive, taking market share. But now I think they see it as an opportunity, and the opportunity with the incoming administration is saying that there is money to be made, and it's another asset, and people are, they're going to have an opportunity to capitalize on retail. And so, I think when you see Wall Street enter the building, you see the opportunity in the future.
Yeah. And it's, hard costs. Like, how much does it cost to set up an exchange? For Wall Street, it's, a few $1,000,000. It's minuscule. How much does it set? They can probably use AI to set up an ETF in a week. They just have to get the approval. Thing is, they've got the ability to get the regulatory approvals and to actually have the platform to push it out. For whatever reason, most people in the country still trust Wall Street,
Trust,
right? They trust them. I mean, they're holding your stocks. They're holding your money.
I think we trust Wall Street more than the government at this point. You have,
and for good reason, right?
All right.
For good reason. So Wall Street can move the mountains necessary to do this. And now Trump coming in, he's already said that he's pro crypto and wants to do a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So We're off to the races here.
Well, and when people say that Trump is pro crypto, that means he's also pro business. And so what you're going to see is the banks, start accepting crypto. You see Visa and MasterCard, even life insurance. There's life insurance policies that are starting to be developed, for, the same way that we can become our own bank with whole life insurance. You're starting to see policies that people can put in Bitcoin and borrow against it of a death benefit. And so that's a big thing that you don't have to sell your Bitcoin at this point when you can start getting life insurance and these different investment vehicles that are integrated with crypto. It opens up an entire new market and new opportunities.
That's pretty amazing. I wasn't even familiar with that. So Wall Street's got the most to gain. They no longer view it as a threat. They view it as a necessity, and they're all racing to get in on it. Pre-call, we're talking about companies, huge companies, issuing their own coins, like what Meta tried to do before the current administration put the kibosh on it. They were going to pay all their vendors in their own coin and allow people to purchase their services with their coin. Right. And I wonder how long it's going to be before that comes back on the table and you start to see Tesla and Microsoft and Google and everybody issue their own coins.
So I don't think the government has a problem with privatizing, incentives. You already have customer rebates and you have rewards that people can cash in. But the real issue is with collecting income and taxes. And so I think the structure of, how do you collect the taxes on gains and profits was the big obstacle. And I think as we move into this next year, that's going to have more clarity around it.
Yeah, they're going to force everybody to use exchanges. They'll try to dissuade the use of wallets, right?
Right.
And maybe there'll be tracking built in with these new currencies so they can track your wallet. I don't know what they're going to do, but, the government, Uncle Sam's got to get his cut, right?
Right. And that's why I think, stablecoin, USDT, Coinbase, the Gemini, all the approved exchanges in America, were already kind of embedded with the government. And so they're trying to minimize the on-ramps and ensure that everyone's licensed that are offering crypto or any type of on-ramp.
Yeah, and New York State, to its credit, was one of the first governments anywhere to actually come up with a crypto regulatory scheme. But that's going to have to evolve because, you can track everything, but crypto moves at the speed of light and you can have accounts any place, anywhere. It's going to be difficult for the government to track all this down.
I think not. I mean, if you realize a few years ago, Coinbase had bought a chain analysis company. So once you get crypto and once you have is on a blockchain, it can actually be tracked from one wallet to the next. And so, it's almost like the paper trail is actually easier in crypto. And so as long as, you have one person that has gone through KYC and AML, they can actually follow that chain. And that's what the entire blockchain is about. It actually gives you more transparency on every transaction and where that crypto is going.
I wonder if a country will come up and become the Switzerland of crypto, where nobody gets traced no matter what. Nobody can be traced, right?
That is something that the government would not allow. In the last 12 months, wallets like Samurai Wallet, all the privacy coins have been under attack. And I think right now the IRS has a bounty on Monero that anyone can crack the code and get inside Monero. I think they have something like a bounty of 5 million right now.
Really? So Monero is the one that they can't track now?
They can't crack. No, they don't have any visibility into it.
All right. So there you have it. What's Monero trading at these days? You tracked it lately?
I think it was actually on the it's on the recovery row right now. I'm checking the price. Last I checked, it was like 180. See where it's at.
Yeah. 193.84 as we're speaking today on January 7th. So, and it's if you look at it, it's had a pretty decent move. Not quite as good as Bitcoin. It's down over the past month. So where's Bitcoin heading? I saw a ridiculous forecast, 800,000 by the end of the year.
Oh man, it happens. I don't think it's that high. I say 180 to 200,000.
I think 135 to 150 crash. All right. It's a little different now to predict the peaks and the crashes. You know, I could never predict the lows, but I could always see the highs. You know, 19,700 back in, what was it, 2017. 2017, I nailed it to the day. And then 2 years ago, 67.7. And that's after it crashed from there. I didn't get in early enough. I think it was down to 15,000 or 11. It really went down a lot. So you could see an 80% crash, because, especially now, because the other thing that Wall Street can do better than anyone else is trading, arbitraging it, right?
Right.
They have the ability to do it. This is why I think they needed to get rid of Sam Bankman-Fried.
Okay.
To me, that whole thing was a put-up deal. I don't know your thoughts. He didn't steal anything. All the creditors got back 119%. Look, I'm a recovering attorney. I handled bankruptcies once upon a time, not a lot of them, but a few. And creditors are happy to get 10 cents back on the dollar. They got 120. All right. The law firm involved, I don't want to go pissing people off, is a major, deep state law firm, the one that handled the bankruptcy. Going back over 100 years. They were instrumental in Latin American government overthrows. And, you know, they've been, they're the deep state law firm, put it that way.
Right. And that's a lot of that, right? To sway the people, you know, for Bitcoin or against Bitcoin based on security. And it gave the government opportunity to come in and save everyone. Yeah, make sure that it doesn't happen again
That's
put legal money in now.
Yeah. And, you know, like I read the book, you know, by Michael Lewis, and this guy was not a thief. All right. I think he might have been on the spectrum. Okay. That's entirely possible. But I have seen other financial people that had something, Martin Armstrong, for one, get locked up for 11 years. They sentenced him to 25 years. Now, granted, he's in a club fed in all likelihood, hope for his sake. And, you know, the guy, his mistakes weren't criminal. They were accounting errors.
Right.
And,
well, and they saying Sam was inept, right? That he was just he was not qualified to run a.
No, he wasn't. He was an idiot savant, man. He's a genius. The way he figured out how to arbitrage these coins and trade, cross trade, and all that. I mean, he invented it. So Wall Street and Sam Bankman-Fried could not exist in the same world together.
Right.
I think it's set up.
Call
me a conspiracy theorist. Today's conspiracy theorists are tomorrow's truth tellers. Right. You know where the term conspiracy theorist came from, Jamar?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
In the assassination of John Kennedy, there was a Warren Commission, and basically they came up with the term conspiracy theorist for anybody that didn't buy the findings of the Warren Commission that Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy, lone nut gunman.
Right.
The CIA deliberately came up with that to marginalize and undermine. So as it turns out, all these conspiracy theories come true. So not 800,000, 180. Do you think it's possible we could have a flash crash or a couple month decline in Bitcoin, lose half its value?
I mean, I see in March, and, you know, with so much algorithms and so much high frequency trading now that's involved in Wall Street, you know, there will be crashes. I think, you know, large dumps, but there'll also be large recoveries. You have to remember the last time that Trump was in office, you know, we had COVID and we had crashes in March of 2020, I think 2021, and we also had recoveries. And so I think any crash in crypto will be short-lived.
Yeah, I think, you know, like you can't tell. It's still a market. It's still an emerging market.
Right. So it is also a global market.
Yeah.
And there's others that would like to pick it up. And that's why every dip that, you know, I'm looking at, it's a viable dip, because you also have to remember that, one Bitcoin, no matter what crash happens, it's still one Bitcoin. The value may change temporarily of how much you can exchange it for, but it's still one Bitcoin. And there's a lot of crypto enthusiasts that their whole goal is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible.
Yeah, that is true. And I remember Porter Stansberry rather, sold his company, and he was buying like $50,000 worth of Bitcoin either a day or a week, like 3-4 years ago.
Right.
Just going all in on it. And he was a big gold guy. So could well be the case.
Yeah. And I believe, at this point in history, that any crashes that's going to occur, there's guys that are going to take advantage and they're willing to buy and hold.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely perhaps a bigger support for it than there has been in the past. On the other hand, the fact that there's ETFs and there's options and there's futures make it, at least in the short term, much more easy to manipulate than it was in the past.
You use leverage. So I trade ETFs on a daily basis for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm doing that just so I can accumulate more Bitcoin. So, that is the strategy with a lot of traders, is that I'm taking money out of the stock market to actually buy more crypto.
Hey, I get it. So how much crypto is enough? How high can it go?
I think, when it comes to crypto, it's a wealth vehicle. It's a store of value. So the big difference between gold and crypto is that, no matter how much gold you accumulate, how can you move around and how can you carry it? How can you take it with you? The Bitcoin is, we can go anywhere in the world and we can have unlimited amounts of Bitcoin digitally, and it can be preserved and hidden. Whereas gold asset isn't really a good store of value because it's not mobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think right now we are global citizens. We desire to be. I live in California, and the number one thing I get on a daily basis is, why are you still there?
Yeah, good question. Why are you still there?
But it's family ties, right?
I figured.
If you had a capital, it's not as bad. But I think the wealth division is getting much wider. It's going to be clear, rich and poor. The middle class is being eliminated.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more, man. It's, then again, there's definitely a change taking place, not just in the country, but across the globe.
Across the globe, technology. It's getting to the point where we're wiping out the middle class, where even they don't have access to even buy crypto. They don't have access to buy food. I think eggs right now in California is about $16, $17 a dozen.
I saw that. They went up $10 in a day or a week.
Right. So
they must be good eggs.
Well, I think that's the next stage, right? The next pandemic is, food shortages. That's the only thing that I think people will sell their crypto for, if you have lack of food, and
if you gotta eat.
You gotta eat. So, I think, you say conspiracy theorists and Bill Gates with all the land and all their products being modified, all the food being GMO, that's going to become more valuable to the wealthy. So you have quality food.
It's amazing. You talk about food. Much of food we produce, we can't even export to Europe or Canada. They won't take it because it's all this GMO. It's all modified. It's all crap. Quite a world here, man. Quite a world.
Well, AI doesn't need food, right? So they're eliminating the employees and adding more AI and adding robots that don't need to eat. And so it does look, technology wise, that everything is advancing.
Yeah.
5 humans.
Well, you got like a $20 minimum wage in California for fast food workers. And, they're looking and, hey, Flippy the burger maker, they're going to have robots. So they're not going to have any human beings at the McDonald's.
Right.
The robots will open up and they'll close. And, they'll just be handing out food. They won't be taking any cash. Everything's going to be cashless payments.
Right.
So that's the future. I mean, they had the automated coffee shop of the future, you know?
Right. Yeah, Amazon stores. You can go to the grocery store and just walk out and encourage you an Amazon account. You have driverless trucks and vehicles that's going to be around. You know,
Yep.
Uber is being replaced by Waymo. And, you know, you can hop in a car and get a ride with a driverless vehicle. I mean, that's a real big investment right now, but it's also kind of scary for all the blue collar workers.
10 million people. It's the largest single job category in the country is driver.
Right.
I mean, that's truck drivers, that's limo drivers, taxis, delivery guys, FedEx, you know, UPS, post office. Well, if you want to get a safe job, go to the post office. They'll be the last one to adopt the technology, right?
No, they actually first. My mom retired 35 years at the post office, and she's seen so much change where even the catalogs, right? The print business is almost dead.
Yeah.
And you have guys sending digital. You got your mail digitally now.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I get a scan of all the mail that I'm going to get for the day.
They're only keeping the post office open for the workers, in my opinion.
Well, it lost $10 billion last year. So you can only, even if you're part of the government, you can only stay open as a money losing enterprise for so long till somebody says enough already.
And I think that's what Elon Musk was hired to do, right? Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah.
One of the new coins.
You think it's a Trojan horse?
I think it's a Trojan horse that allow him to eliminate, you know, a lot of government spending and the fact of saying, hey, we can save money.
Yeah. Man, it's like hard to believe, you know? It's so hard to believe. And yet here we are. So, okay. Again, you want to find, just tell us what you offer, your AI service there, Jamar.
So, you know, now with the introduction of technology into trading, you know, I've created a AI trading report that gives you an updated trading analysis on what we're trading in crypto, the stock market, the options, and it allows, you know, the average person to understand what's happening in the market on a daily basis.
All right, how do you get that?
Go to AITradingReport.com.
AITradingReport.com. The link is trading. Got it. Sorry about that. AITradingReport.com. The link is in the show notes to this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Make sure when you go there, please, you'll sign up for our free newsletter. It's not quite AI written yet, but we're getting close. Right. And got any questions for Jamar or myself, shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. Jamar, we will definitely talk to you again soon, especially if there's any major movements in crypto from whatever area. And wish you the best for the coming year. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.